and I'm very, very good with the techie, and so it was actually kind of funny. I was talking to one of my clients one day, and I was like, yeah, today's just been kind of one of those weird days where I, like, for whatever reason, technology wasn't working with me. And she's like, I'm so happy to hear you say that.
What, you're normal? I mean, things happen in a normal way.
I mean, it's not the usual, but
Right.
Like, every once in a while, even the techies have the trouble with the technology.
Yeah.
So, but yes. So tonight we have a really amazing guest with us. Her name is Tanys. She is with Twillow Life Community. She's an international teacher. She's a speaker. She does crystal. She is a crystal master, Reiki master, intuitive healer, channeler, all the things. We were talking just before the show that we do a lot of stuff. We do stuff. So welcome, Tanys.
Thank you. I'm really honored to be here.
We're going to just start that. We're going to start a new group. We just do it. It's almost like Nike. Just do it.
That's right. We just do stuff. We do stuff.
We do things. Things is what we do.
I just do what I'm told. That's what I always say. I just do what I'm told.
Absolutely. Hey, before we get started, I want to know what is behind you. Can you explain, the triangle that's behind you? What is that?
So it's a copper pyramid. It has a crystal. Let's see if I can point to it. Crystal right in the center there. And so what it does is it really amplifies the energy. So I'll often do like crystal baths and stuff under there, right? You put a mattress, I've got a bunch of crystals, and you put crystals down, and then I activate it using sacred geometry. And you really feel like a powerful, high generated feel. So it activates.
That is really cool. So, and you do a lot of healing, I guess, underneath it for people who need the healing?
Yeah. I have done some healing under there. Because of COVID and stuff, I haven't done a lot downstairs here. I was doing it down here. I've moved my practice to our sunroom, actually, just for a little bit so that we can get through all this COVID stuff. I'll be moving down probably in the next few months, but So I do meditation, my own healing and stuff in there for sure.
Oh, wow. Okay. So where are you located when you say you've moved a little bit? Where are you located?
I'm in Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. That's where I'm out of. And right now I work from my home, which is awesome. A very short commute. And so I have a studio here, of course, and I do online services a lot. So I actually have 3 businesses. So I'm an HR consultant for small business in the area. I'm a registered HR professional. And then I also have my own healing practice, of course. So that's the one where I joke about I just do what I'm told, because my clients come in and I get told what to do and I do it. Whether that's energy healing, I have numerous healing modalities in terms of that. And I'm also a Celtic shamanic high priestess. So I do some ceremonial healing work, soul retrieval, that kind of stuff. I work as a medium if it's called for. I kind of have a thing that I don't call them in. So if they come in, we'll do a channeling session with them, but otherwise I don't call them in. And then the other part is that I have a school, Twillow Lifestyle Academy.
Oh, right.
And so I have 8 teachers working with me at the academy, and it's all online, but we have live classes instead of having it all recorded and stuff, so people can ask questions and interact. And so that's what I do. I do stuff.
Well, and I want to ask you, okay, so I always love to ask me, this is just so fascinating to me. When did you know that you had to follow whatever the spirit world wanted you to do? Were you a child or were you a little bit older?
No. No, it was about 8 years ago, I guess, 9 years ago. I had spent 20 some years in home healthcare and worked my way up and ended up in management my last few years. And in management, I ended up in 2 different burnouts because that's not where I was supposed to be, right?
Right.
And being a people pleaser and all of that. I'm a physical empath. And so it definitely takes its toll on the system. I also was super busy. I always tend to be busy doing stuff, right? So even when I wasn't doing this stuff, I was doing other stuff. I was involved in theater and full-time job and taking HR management classes, applied management classes, and as well as starting to delve into this stuff. And so, I ended up in 2 different jobs that were similar in terms of responsibility and all of that stuff. And sorry, I'm watching some of the comments here.
I know, I just saw it too.
From Gerald. Hey, Gerald.
I do what I'm told. I saw that too at the exact same time.
I try to do what I'm told. Let's say that. It's not always without discussion.
Yes.
Very true.
So I ended up in those 2 jobs. They were both very similar. I joke about being a slow learner. It took me 2 of them to realize that was not where I was supposed to be. And then I started my HR consultancy because that was the mainstream thing to do. And we are talking 8 years ago. And it's all of our spiritual businesses have certainly taken off more in the last 5. So when I first started, I would say I'm a Reiki master. People would be like, a what? Now it's, oh, you do Reiki. Okay. How does that work again? It's progressed, right? The responses have progressed. So we've made some headway in helping people to understand how energy works and how we can use it to really push ourselves forward in life, and making sure that we're managing our own energy a little bit better.
So what? So
Gerald says you call it discussion. I call it arguing. Yeah. Sorry.
I call it arguing. So I bet he argues. I do that too a little bit.
I've been known to.
Cassie, do you argue with spirit saying, no, I don't want to do that?
Yeah. Yes, very much so.
Well, and that's kind of what I did with my jobs, right? I kind of was like, no, I can't start my own business.
Right.
And then I end up doing the HR management.
But when you stop to argue and you kind of put your heels in and say, no, I'm not going to do that, isn't it interesting how the universe just kind of pushes you and makes you do it anyway?
Yes. And it falls into place. I mean, it kind of aligns with you. So why do you think that people understand now what Reiki is all about? I mean, about the metaphysical stuff. So why do you feel that, people understand this now? How did they get educated?
I just think there's a lot more stuff out there about it. I think that the whole world's vibration is raising. We've had solar storms for a reason, right? And it's sort of hit the earth with some plasma, making our Schumann resonance go through the roof, which increases our vibration and all of that stuff. And so that, it forces us to do the healing work. And so people are looking for that kind of resolve. Like they're not getting the same kind of necessarily the same as results as what they would like to be seeing with some of your more traditional medicine stuff. So they're realizing there's other ways to go about it. And, for me, I always feel like if you've got something going on, you need to look at 3 aspects, right? You look at the physical, you look at the mental, emotional, and you look at the energetic, and all of those work together. So, you need to look at all 3. I think typically we haven't looked that much at the energetic, and I think that is starting to change. Right. I think it's education. I think it's people like us doing this kind of thing, getting out there and talking. And then it increases the conversation. So I think it's increased conversation.
Yeah. Oh, I totally agree. So you started the school. So what made you go, hey, I'm going to start a school. I'm going to have teachers. How did you dream up this plan? I know that you help small businesses. Do you come up with a lot of ideas this way where you like, driving one day and you go, oh, I'm going to open this school. How did this happen?
So I had my practice going first for a few years. So it was just me and, doing my healing work and going about it. And during the COVID, actually, so the first summer of COVID, I was still seeing clients from a distance. I do some like, you know, Ho'oponopono, or I do work on them from a distance. So I would sometimes have people over in my yard. So I had probably, I think it was three or four people ask if I would mentor them over that time, like all fairly close together. I hadn't even thought about that kind of thing. And so I went and I checked in and I'm like, okay, what does this look like? What is it that you want me to do? And I was told I'm supposed to create a school. And I'm like, okay. I was already teaching Reiki myself. So I thought, okay, well, that's just putting a name to kind of what I'm already doing. We can do that. And yeah, I can start to teach some of these other things that I've learned, you know, the Celtic shamanic stuff and whatnot. And so I started a school, and then the teachers came. It is really, you build it and they come. Yeah. I put it together and they came. And so now there's 8 of us, and I'm so honored and thrilled. It's such an amazing group. You know, I'm really honored to be able to call them friends as well. And we work really well together. And
right. Yeah. Right. So do you most stuff online, or do y'all meet people in a office, like you said, in your house, or is it mainly online?
The school is mainly online because I have teachers like all over North America. I have a teacher in Seattle. I have one in Illinois. I have one in Montreal. I have one in Newfoundland. Wow. And then a bunch here in Ottawa. So it varies. So most of our stuff is online where that's concerned. We will do a few things, I think, in the near future in person. You know, probably in the summer, I'm going to do some stuff here. I do have some closer knit groups that I do like on a monthly basis. I have one evening thing that I do in person that I've been doing now for 7 or 8 years. We just took a break during COVID and did it online, but it's back to being in person now. So.
Wow. See, and just like what you were saying, the goal was to get education out there, get people to understand what's going on with the energy. And then you pulled it together. And like we're saying, you said yes to spirit.
Yep, I did.
Even if you were probably arguing the whole way.
Well, the second job was me arguing. The second of the same job was me arguing, saying, I can't do that.
Right.
So, yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. So now, did you have family that worked this business, or a mom or a grandmother who were into it, or nothing? So wow. And I think that's it, where you just pulled towards it and you knew what you needed to do. Did you start with Reiki? Is that where you started?
I did. I joke about Reiki being my gateway drug to all of this.
Okay.
And I looked to Reiki when I was going through my burnout, my first one. And I went and had my first Reiki session, and I had never felt so good. I was oh my God, I need to learn how to do this. And so it really just lit the fire. And then as soon as I started doing that, you know, I started, the guides started chatting with me and everything. And I realized that I had been blocking it out most of my life, and that it was there all the time. I just hadn't clued in. I went to a Reiki with crystals class one day, and I was sitting in class, and I wasn't really like communicating with the guides yet. I was aware of a couple I was working with, but that was it. So I was in this Reiki with crystals class, and the teacher's talking, and all of a sudden she stops and she goes, you have a bunch of ascended masters yelling at you all the time. I don't know how you focus on anything. You need to take care of that. And I was like, wait, what? What do you mean? So I talked to her after class, and she's like, so do you have anxiety? I'm like, yeah, I have all my life. And she said, do you have trouble focusing? Yeah, sometimes, yeah. She's like, yeah, you need to form a committee. So I went home and I sat down, and I knew I was working with Archangel Michael and St. Mark at that time. So I sat down and I said, all right, guys, can you be my committee? And I felt a heart opening, which is usually my yes. And then I said, okay, the rest of you, go through them. And when I did that, it was almost like, you know, when you don't realize how much background noise is around until you have a power outage. Yeah. And then you realize all that hum of all our electronics and the appliances and all that.
Absolutely.
And you go, oh, that's what quiet sounds like. It was like that for me. And so that's how I realized that there was a lot more going on. And of course, started to delve into that a little bit more.
So what would you tell somebody that came to you that goes, I want to get in the business, I feel drawn? What would you tell them?
What would I tell them? I would tell them to do it part-time at first, because like any business, it takes time to build it, right? Any business, it takes, up to 5 years to really sort of get cemented and get started in that. Make sure that you just follow your guidance in this business, because they really do guide you. If you're meant to be in it, they're going to guide you which way to go. Right? When I started listening, things went much smoother. Even though I have the discussion every so often about what it is. But yes, it'll just listen to what you're being told from the guides, because they're there to support you. Ask the questions, right? And don't do it alone. I think I need to do meditation. Yeah. Don't do it alone, right? Find someone that can help you, whether it's mentoring, whether it's someone else who's starting a business that you can that you can put ideas off of. And when I first started, I think the biggest thing for me was getting out there networking. So there was a time when I was doing like 80 and 90 hours of networking a month.
Wow.
In the beginning, just to get out and get known, and, and you got to do the work, right? There's the business part of this. If you're going to go into business, you have to do things like get a good website, like from Cassie.
Yeah. I was going to say that as well.
Pay attention to that stuff.
That's right.
I think that when we're spiritual, we kind of want to ignore the businessy part of things. And it doesn't really serve us to do that. Because you won't actually get anywhere. We have to use both sides of our brains when we're starting a business like this, right? But that's not to say we overthink. When I say both sides of our brains, it just means we need to use the logical side and the other for the creative and for intuition. So I think, you need to listen and meet people where they're at. That's another big thing, because when you're out networking, it's interesting though, because if you're doing this kind of work, you're always going to be drawn to the people that are in the right frequency, right? I wasn't telling anybody when I first started my HR business. I was out doing all this networking, and I wasn't going to tell anybody that I did Reiki, because I thought, oh, people are going to think I'm too woohoo, and they won't hire me as an HR person, even though really it's very advantageous to be intuitive as an HR person doing hiring. But people think it's too woohoo. So I was like, really, I was in that fear space still, right? But I was drawn to the people. I was always ending up with the person that was the yoga instructor, or the coach, or the or the other the witch in the room, or whatever, and they would bring it up first, and I'd be like, oh, that's why I'm here. So that's just, don't be afraid to talk about it. I think now is a time that there is so much more opening about it, that it's okay to go ahead and talk about it. Do what you need to do.
Oh, and I totally agree. And I don't want to speak for Cassie, but whenever I came out as a psychic medium, it was like people were not surprised. They go, oh, I'm not at all. You've always surprised us at what you said. Or I was thinking you were at the same time. They seemed like they embraced it so much more than I thought. So, I tell people, always come show people you're on. So Cassie, was it hard for you to come out, my dear?
I don't feel like it was. It was more just, I think by the time that I was ready to actually start telling people I was in it, I had already been in it for long enough that it's like, well, what do you think I've been doing for the last 3 years? Was kind of why I ended up my response to anyone who kind of had that hesitation around it. It's like, you know, because kind of my intro to it was actually working at one of the holistic stores, which, you know, so by the time I was actually telling people, oh, hey, I'm doing mediumship, I'm doing the readings, I'm doing the things, it was like I had already gotten past like 3 years of being in the world.
Yeah.
And so I was like, what do you think I was doing when I was over there? like, okay. You know, so that was just kind of my, like, if I kind of got that, like, wait, that's weird, that's different.
Right.
That was kind of my go-to response.
Yeah.
But, you know, but also I feel like I'm kind of in a point in my life where, you know, probably by the time I came out, I was already surrounded by people that were going to support me anyway.
Right.
So,
yeah. See, so to be young, I mean, to me, you did it the right way. You know, like I hid it for so long and then came out where you went ahead and said, you know what, you can accept it or you don't have to accept it.
Yeah.
So it was perfect.
I'm kind of the weird one in my family anyhow, so it doesn't really. So
I think most of us are in that position.
Yeah. I'm like you know, I've always been into like the dragons and the fairies and the fantasy and the mystical stuff. So, you know, you add in the psychic and the tarot and it goes right along with all that. So it's like,
I was one of those people that put on the hat and the sunglasses, went into Barnes and Noble and looked around for the books, the metaphysical books, and thinking in the cards and thinking, I hope no one sees me. But I'm no longer there. I think I'm ready. I think I'm out.
Hope so, considering you're on here.
I think so. All right. Are we ready to do readings?
Ooh,
sure.
Yeah.
Whatever you like.
Did we talk about everything? Is there anything else that you wanted to talk about before we do readings that we didn't discuss?
We have a membership site.
Okay.
So we're building a community. And so that's kind of cool. We've got new content on there from the teachers every month. And there's readings, there's free ebooks, there's all of that kind of stuff. So check that out at twillowlifestyle.ca.
Awesome. And I actually saw that too, and I thought, how cool is that? Because you've got like monthly, you have yearly membership that comes with different things. So I think that is an awesome offering that you're providing.
Thank you.
Let's not say offering too many times.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. It's there'll be, you know, exclusive membership deals as well, and some events that will be just for members and that sort of thing coming up soon, starting in the spring. So
so everybody get ready.
Go. Yeah, exactly.
For sure.
I'm also a galactic ambassador.
So my gosh.
I'm a galactic ambassador out there, but also in the 3D. So I'm also involved in the Alliance for Extraterrestrial Diplomatic Contact, which is an international organization that is working to get changes made at the UN with the Vienna Convention to allow for diplomatic contact with ETs. And we also have the money to build an embassy already. We're just looking for a country to do that where they can offer up land and not have it be owned by the country that it's in. It has to be I can't remember the term at the moment, but it has to be non-partisan land so that because it's owned by whoever the embassy is for. And since we don't have, names or anything, that's
wow, how fascinating. I mean, you keep surprising me with all of your information.
Well, thank you.
You just do stuff.
That's why I just do stuff.
Well,
I do stuff.
We did cut the comment.
It's easier to say what I don't do.
Say what you don't do.
Oh, there you go. Hey, that's true. That's true.
Thanks, Jeff. Yeah, I do stuff. That's what I do.
That's right. That's right. That is fascinating. Oh my gosh. So, how did you get into that?
So it really was as above, so below.
Okay.
I had my galactic guides come in one day and they were all excited. Like, are you ready? Are you ready? And I said yes before I knew what I was saying yes to, because I didn't really, it was a subconscious thing. I already knew that I had a soul contract for this. And they got all excited and sent all this love at me. And I was sitting in my basement crying, and because I was getting all the love. I was like, okay. And then they left and I was like, wait, what did I just say yes to? And so later on I was told that it was a galactic ambassador. And then I ended up going through friends and met the vice president of the organization. And he's like, yeah, you're going to be involved. I'm like, yeah, if you want me. He's like, yeah, come to a meeting Friday. And then I ended up, they weren't calling themselves Galactic Ambassadors, like the group that was doing the networking. And now they're calling themselves Galactic Ambassadors as well, because that really is what we're doing.
Right.
And so, yeah, so I went from, upper dimensional Galactic Ambassador to now 3D as well. So,
wow. Not everybody can say that.
Yeah, it's been quite a journey.
Yeah,
it's quite a journey. Absolutely. Yes. Yeah. And it's all found me. It was never, again, it was just me saying yes.
Right.
Do you want to meet this guy? Sure. Sure. And then I met him, and the rest is history. So, yeah. So I've been with them over a year now, and I have another podcast with them that I do. Which is Bridge to the Galaxy. I do that with a co-host, and we interview big people in the ET community as well. And yeah, so I'm doing a few podcasts. We also have Twillow Talk, which I do with my co-host Jen. She and I do those, and we had Cassie on the show not long ago. And then I do the Wednesday nights with Michelle, where you guys, I just popped over from that one.
Yes.
And I do another one with another one of the teachers, open mic, every second Friday. And I'm doing one with a bunch of people in Scotland, a bunch of therapists in Scotland that I do once a month. And so yeah, lots going on.
Very good. So you're comfortable with the situation.
I do this a lot. Yeah, I do this a lot.
Right.
And this is where I praise, some of the things that happened during COVID. Yeah. Because when COVID started, you wouldn't have caught me doing this, like before COVID started. And then all of a sudden you're thrust into doing things that you wouldn't normally do.
Right. Right.
And so, yeah, and here I am.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. All right. Y'all ready?
Yeah.
All right.
Awesome.
Yeah, you're already up there with your energy because you've been doing readings already.
Yeah.
So if anyone would like reading, please drop a comment if you have a specific question. That's always really helpful. Typically on this show, we do tend to stick with, more answers that we can give you with our cards. Mediumship can, if we do get something mediumship wise, whoever gets that message is happy to chime in with that. However, it's not as standard on the show just because I think everybody here can attest to that's a little more difficult to do in this style show. So, but yes, please drop your comments and let us know that you are open for a reading, and we will get to as many as we can. All right. We are going to start with Krista Smith.
Okay.
And she says, yes, please.
Do guests usually go first on this show?
Whoever. Tanys, would you like to start?
Sure, I can do that. Yeah. Let me just sort these out here.
All right.
Okay. So, Krista, what I'm getting is you've been in a time of a bit of hibernation lately, and it's like the creative juices have now started to flow. Okay. So now it's time to step into using those. So put your creative energy into action. All right. That's the card here. So start to put it into action. We're just changing over in some of the transits. That's going to help support that. This card says, Archangel Gabriel joins me to spark your creativity, to help you communicate your vision and motivate you to create something beautiful. So you have, I feel like there's this great idea that you have that you've kind of been mulling around in your mind, and like it's time to start looking at how you can actually bring that in. Okay, because they are saying the way forward is open. So this is a great sign. It says, you're not trapped. Possibilities and opportunities abound. I will guide you to personal and spiritual freedom. Okay, so it's really, I think that part of it you've been feeling like sort of stifled with. You've been like, I'm seeing a box. So I feel like you felt like you're in this box and you didn't know exactly what to go forward with. I feel like now the box is kind of opening and you're starting to see all these opportunities. And so putting your creative juices into that is where you're going to really go forward. I think that you have been going through this a bit of a difficult emotional time. That's kind of what this hibernation has been about. And they're encouraging you to be honest with yourself. Okay, so know that your feelings are worth listening to, even the difficult ones. The more you can accept your own truth, you can start to move into being the real you. Okay, as you step into that real you, look how much light is in that card. Your greatest power comes from being who you truly are. Don't let anyone sway you from expressing your authentic self. So whatever this new project is, it's really, we were talking about coming out of our spiritual closets. Feels a bit like that for you. May not be a spiritual thing. It may just be like you're coming out with this new idea. So it's like coming out of the closet with this idea that is kind of a little off what you would normally do. But that doesn't mean it's a bad thing. It actually may be part of your divine purpose. Okay, so trust in that divine purpose. This experience has divine meaning. Healing will come. Know that you're on a path of growth. So this period of being in the box and doing this kind of inner work and learning who you are and where you're going to go and all of that stuff, that's been part of the healing and growth journey for you. And now you're sort of stepping out of the box and starting to expand yourself a little bit. Okay, so I hope that's helpful, Krista.
Is absolutely beautiful. Oh my gosh. I'm just going to be very short and sweet. What I was really feeling, and it's so interesting. I love whenever all, psychics are doing readings together because we kind of feed off of one another. And I was feeling a lot of anxiety with you, Krista, that you were needing guidance. And I pulled a card for you, and it was actually to find friendship, to find people that can actually help you move forward on your journey. Okay. You need that support. And what I was also being pulled with is this necklace right here. And I don't know if you are into crystals, but it's almost like you need something that will help you look at a necklace, help guide you. Because, a lot of people will work crosses for faith. And it's basically the same thing. Just find a necklace that you can look at and say, you know what? I believe in myself and I'm going to move forward. So I hope this helps you in Live in Light. Oh, look, there's a crystal.
I'm feeling like citrine is the one to look for.
Okay, there you go.
Citrine as well.
Yeah, I'm feeling citrine.
And the card that I pulled is the card. It's the card for change. And what the message that goes with it is the frequency of change supports our ability to gracefully dance with the forever changing nature of reality, both inward and outward, so that we can appreciate the sweet release of the old and birth the new. And what I also really love about this card is how Tanys was saying, it's like you're kind of in a box, but that box is opening. If you look closely at this card, there actually is a square box surrounding the light that's starting to radiate outwards. So, yeah.
She's been the round peg in the square box there on your card, right?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, I love it. Yes. Oh my gosh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, we can't make that stuff up. You know, you can, that's what we always joke about. You can't make that stuff up, that we all get similar cards, that we all get similar messaging. You can't make it up. It's always the way, right?
Yes,
exactly. It's always the way.
It's that wonderful energy. All right, Cassie, who's next?
We are going to Kara.
Okay.
Ooh, they're jumping out for you here, Kara.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, they're like flying across the room. Yeah. All right. All right. Okay. So I don't know if you've lost somebody recently, but I feel as though there's somebody trying to get a message to you. So I think that you're more intuitive than what you actually think you are. And the more you can step into that knowing, the more you'll be able to really pick up on the messages that are coming in for you. So I got your loved ones are safe. Let go of fear and worry for them. Michael is looking after them. Okay. So you've got some, it feels like a family member that's, so you have like it's a grandparent coming through for you. I'm not sure if it's grandparent or great grandparent, depending on, it's hard to tell, you know, when they're on the other side, but, at this point, I think it's a grandparent for you, and they're letting you know that they're fine and that they're actually watching over whoever this is that you're worried about. This feels like a child that you're worried about, whether it's your child, your son or daughter, or a niece or nephew. It feels like you're worried about a child. I feel like there may be some, okay, I'm hearing learning disability. And so they're not quite picking up on the stuff that is what they're really, how you would expect them to be picking up on stuff. Okay. So don't worry. I think, you know, the grandparent is looking after them. They got them. Just, you know, treat the situation with love because they're going to be okay. All right. I got also all is in perfect timing. So you as well have something that's brewing that's you're going to take action on. Doesn't feel like a box for you. It feels a bit more like whether you're looking for a new job or a new place to live. It's that kind of a thing. Feels like a move for me. And this is the time to take action. Okay, the doors are opening. You see the big door with the light there? It's perfect timing. It's time to take the action now. And Archangel Michael is reminding you, these are Archangel Michael cards, guys. So I will be here to help you every step of the way. So know that your angels are watching over you as you go forward. All right. And stay the course, he's saying. So I feel like you've been sort of contemplating this and there may have been like a false start. I feel like that wasn't the right one, but the right one is coming. I hope that makes sense. It's the others are just learning experiences. So just stay the course. All right, keep going. Embrace this magical moment. You are in the perfect energetic space for manifesting miracles. Allow your wishes to manifest. So your spiritual journey is, I would say, well on its way. You're starting to learn more. I'm feeling taking some classes would be helpful for you in terms of giving you that framework to be able to start to, because there's like this step that you're going to take, like a jump in your journey. And in order to do that, you just need a little bit of a framework around what you're doing and giving you some practices to do on a regular basis. So that's what I would recommend. I think that, you know, it's the time to do that for you. You're ready for it. And yeah, let go of the fear. There's some fear there too. There's a little bit of apprehension around all of it. Don't be afraid of it. It's great. It's an amazing journey. When we, you know, they have the perfect ability, they have the perfect knowledge, but they don't have the ability to like pick this up and move it, right? We have the ability to pick this up and move it, but we don't have perfect knowledge. So it's a beautiful synergy when we can start to listen to what they have to say and act on those things. Okay. So the fear is just the unknown of what's happening. And just know it's a beautiful journey. There's framework that you can use to jump into it with a little bit more sense of security if you need it. Okay. Hope that's helpful, Kara.
Love it, love it, love it. And I'm going to back up with that as well, because I was really feeling a lot of resistance with you. It's almost like you're digging your heels down because of this spiritual awakening that you're having. But at the same time, it's so interesting because, yeah, you do have a loved one. And I was feeling that it was like, I don't know if your grandfather was a dad to you. You were very close. It's almost like he gave you guidance. He gave you that support in life. And then when he's gone, it's like you're still grieving. Okay. You're still grieving. Go ahead and accept that grievance of where you are and then move on, because he's with you, girl. He's going to really, hold your hand through the whole process of what you're going through. So be patient with yourself, okay? Because you're human as well. So I got the card reawakening, okay? So just like what she said earlier is that you are going through a spiritual awakening. And when you do that, a lot of times all those triggers happen. All that sadness comes through. And girl, you know what? That, again, be very patient with yourself. Go through the process. And no, it's going to be up and down, up and down, and up and down, because you're learning your lessons so that you can carry on through with your journey. All right. Go with love and light, and I wish you many blessings.
Absolutely. And the card that I actually drew for her as well, it's soul time.
Wow.
That would be it. Yep.
So soul time. And it states the frequency of soul time asks us to allow the possibility of a new reality to emerge, one that embraces the concept that while the corporal body is mortal, the soul is timeless, limitless, and infinite.
Wow. That's a beautiful card.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That was awesome.
I'm getting celestite for a crystal for you too, Kara. So work with some celestite. Celestite's beautiful. It's
oh, that is really pretty.
Beautiful. So that's coming through as a crystal for you. That's going to help you to start to pull in your messages from your angels. Okay.
Oh, love it. Love it, love it, love it.
So let's also go to Trina Flannery.
Oh, we need Trina. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We do have people here both from Facebook and YouTube tuning in. So we will be sure to get some from each.
Oh, I see what you mean. Going back and forth.
Yeah. Right.
Yes.
Okay. Career change. I would say yes, because I got the yes. Yes, you are correct, is what it says. You have listened to your inner guidance and made a wise choice. So keep moving forward. The next one is pray from the heart. So prayer really can move mountains. Reach out to the divine with your heart's concerns and watch miracles unfold. So in terms of career changes, I think that sitting down and making a list of the things that you really want out of a career, and then reciting them and asking spirit for that, whether it's God or the angels or whatever your belief system is, asking them for that. Ask the divine for exactly what you're looking for, and then ask them for that or better. All right. Because we don't always know what's best for us. So this way you can ask them for that or better. And that way, we tend to limit ourselves. And I don't want you to limit yourself in this. So and I'm feeling like I'm not supposed to pick one from this one too. So this is your purpose card. So just give me 1 sec. Let's pick one from here too. What is it that we need to pick from here, guys? This one? Oh, okay. So you're looking for a job with some freedom in it. Okay. And know that you are free to do what you choose. So, looking at that, I don't know whether you like crystals, but you just got the crystal card.
Oh my gosh. That's awesome.
So go with that. And so even if that's not your career, looking for freedom is what you want to look for. So I feel like you need like a flexible schedule because of what's going on for you right now. So something that offers that kind of freedom is the kind of career that I would be looking for. But it sounds like it's definitely a yes, that there should be a career change. You're ready. Okay. Hope that's helpful.
I love it. And I'm using Lenormand cards, and it's so funny. Yes is the answer as well. Okay.
There we go.
So, I mean, you're going to have a fabulous relationship with your job. Okay. Like she said, you're going to find something that you absolutely love. It is there, girl. It is there. Okay. So, and then you're actually going to have movement in your life so that, and a messenger is going to bring you the message that, yes, you need to move on. And I'm really feeling it. That is interesting. So I'm getting that the messenger is going to be your intuitiveness, because a lot of people will think, oh, maybe I'll get information about a new job. No, you're going to know when it is at the right time, the right job for you. Okay. And trust in yourself and move forward, because it is in the cards.
Definitely.
Yes, absolutely. All right. So go in love and light.
Yes. And the card that I pulled is authority. And so it says the frequency of authority reminds us that true authority is powerful, directed and realized, yet receptive, wise, and loving. So I think just bringing that, I feel like you're just being asked to step into your own power, own self, and step into your own path.
Mm-hmm. Goes very well with the freedom card.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm. And for you, I'm feeling tapping in. I don't know why I'm doing crystals tonight. For some reason, they're coming up. But I tend to have a bunch, so they tend to yell at me. This is the one I would suggest for you. So it's orange
beautiful.
calcite. Okay, hope that's helpful.
Yeah, everybody, all these metaphysical stores are going to love you, because everybody's going to be running for the crystals. She told me I need this. I need it.
Yep.
Yes. And
awesome.
So I believe our next person is going to be we done Jamie? Jamie?
Okay. Jamie. Do we have a question, or is it just a general? No question?
I think it's just a general.
Okay. What does Jamie need to know, guys? Okay. All right.
Okay. Yeah. Jamie said lots of anxiety, and I understand that.
Yeah, that's coming. That's coming through. Because the first card I got here was "Don't panic." Stay the course, and the first part it says here is "Don't panic." It says, "Don't panic. You're not on the wrong path. You're just having a bumpy start. Learn from your experiences and keep going." Okay, you need to put your creative energy into action. So this is where you're going to tap into that creative side. Jamie, there's something, I actually see painting. I don't know if that's something that you do, whether you paint, but I'm seeing like a big canvas with paintbrush and stuff. So if you aren't doing that, I would recommend that actually as a therapeutic practice for you. So doing some therapeutic painting, and that's where you're really tapping into the emotion of it. Just start with essentially, okay, so they're showing me, just start with a triangle and paint, and then let the brush continue. So that's like intuitive. So you're starting with, so a triangle is symbolic for fire. So when you draw that triangle, it's going to help to spark the creativity that will build into the rest of that piece. Okay. So pick your favorite color and do that. All right. If you can't pick a color, start with red. That's what I'm getting. All right. There's red on the ribbon here. I'm seeing red paint in my head. So give that a go. That's going to help you to create, because we have to create it in the 3D before we bring it we have to create in the upper Ds before we bring it into 3D, right? And so part of that is you taking the brain out of what you're doing and allowing it to just come through. We need to outpicture whatever's happening up there. So that's how we start to create. All right. I don't know why that's coming through like that. Interesting. So just take note of that. I think that the intuitive painting thing is something to really tap into, because you need to regain your focus. Okay. And so you'll see here Metatron's cube. That's really sticking out for me. So trivial life matters are distracting you from your goals. Archangel Metatron and Archangel Michael are here to help you stay grounded. So it's grounded and creative. So really working with your sacral energy and your root chakra energy. Okay, so for you, in terms of crystal, which is coming right away, is something more like this, which is a red jasper. It's a little bit on the orangey side, so that's going to help with the creative stuff, but also going to help to keep you grounded and focused, because really you are meant to be a light for others. Okay, so be that light for others. Feel into the heart space. You see he's got his hands on his heart here. Feel into that heart space and be the light for others, because you have a powerful message to share. Shine your light on the world so that others can learn from you. So I feel like you've been through a lot, Jamie. There's some specific thing that's really sticking out for you when I say that. And that is the piece that you need to share, because people can learn from your experiences. But you may need to do some of this art in order to pull that out of yourself. Right? Give yourself the confidence to move past that. And I'm feeling like some energy healing probably would be a great thing too. Feeling a bit of a heaviness around that. So talking to an energy healer, you know, I think probably all of us here do that. Or if there's somebody local for you that you prefer. But some energy work, I think, would be a good thing for you, Jamie. Okay. Just to lighten there's some density here that needs to go. It's creating some of the anxiety. Okay. Hope that's helpful.
Well, I can just tell with her energy, it's already getting lighter. She's going, oh my gosh. So you're already healing her already. It's very interesting because I did pick up the worrying, and I kept being drawn to the little child over here, the little girl, to be, and not really in particular, just I was feeling the energy that you need to be childlike. So it's interesting that you brought out that intuitive painting or the drawing, because you look at everything in your life as a child would. And that's going to really open you up to do that. And so definitely do that intuitive art. Okay. It's so interesting because when you were saying the triangle, and I pulled the card, and look what's right there is the triangle. And so once you start opening up that creative side and being able to look at things from an eye of a child, you're going to not really sit back anymore. You're going to collaborate with the universe. That's where the collaboration is. Okay. Right now, because you have that fear, you're not stepping forward. But once you start feeling really good, you're raising that energy, and you're going to move forward and continue in that fantastic journey that you need to go on to. Okay. So love and light.
Absolutely. And the just to close on that one, the card that I pulled is the alchemy card, which goes right along, and it says the frequency of alchemy activates our magical ability and remembrance of the magic that we all hold inside. Each one of us has the potential to access the ancient knowledge that allowed the true alchemists to perform the miracles of transmutation. So I feel like you definitely have all of your tools. It's just bringing them out and bringing them to life, following that intuition.
And that's part of your journey, Jamie, is that alchemy piece. So really you're able to do that, alchemize energy. So, it's a beautiful gift to be able to bring that to the world.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
All right. So we have just a few minutes left. Do we think we have time for one more?
I'm ready for one more.
Okay.
I'm good. Yeah.
Yes, I love seeing, and I always tell people, if you are not chosen, you are here for a reason, for love and light. And if you pick up any type of message that we're giving, that is also for you. If you're going, hey, that makes sense to me too, that is for you. Okay. Because we're all a collective. You're here for a reason. So if you don't get picked, don't, be disappointed, because you were able to heal people here as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the last person that I am going to pull is Nathan Wilkes. It looks like he is brand new to our channel and has left a couple comments. So I wanted to acknowledge him and do a quick thanks for joining us. We're glad you were here. And do a quick reading.
Oh, this looks pretty awesome. All right. Yeah. So you're asking about your loved ones around you in spirit. Yeah. Your loved ones are safe. They're happy. They're good. They're sending you love, sending you light. Check on your right-hand side at the moment. You may feel a change in the energy right here versus the other side of you. So feel the difference in the texture of the energy or the temperature of the air around you. You may feel someone there beside you. They're just letting you know they're there and they're good. Okay. So you do have some change coming for you. All right, there's some transformation, but this is an exciting change. I'm here to guide you through this exciting transformation. This is a time of joyous opportunities. You will manifest what you need, is the next one. So please express gratitude as if your plans have already come to pass. Trust your angels are bringing the assistance that you need. All right, so you will manifest what you need. And there's the abundance. Welcome abundance into your life, okay? Prosperity is on its way. Have faith. Source knows that you need to heal those, all right? So please know that the financial issues, you just need to listen to spirit about what to do. You may have heard on the beginning of the show, we were talking about how we do what we're told and how the school came together for me just because I was told that that's what I was supposed to do. Something like that's going to be there for you. That you're going to just sort of, all of a sudden you get this like spark of something. So follow that, please. Okay. As long as it's safe, of course, and, run it through your filters. You want to use discernment, but there's going to be something there. Don't ignore your nudges from spirit is what I'm hearing. Okay. So hope that's helpful.
All right. So I was hopefully tapping in. So I hope this makes sense to you because again, it's hard to do mediumship when you're on Facebook Live because it has something to do with language as well. So again, just write it down and think about it and see. But hopefully it does make sense, gives you healing. But what I kept hearing is while she was doing your reading, I did feel that a female was coming across. Okay. And it felt like a grandmother. They usually show me a purse whenever it's a grandmother, but it's almost like, again, she was a big factor in your life. And I heard Nathaniel, like a child gets in trouble. And this lady was saying Nathaniel. So I kept hearing that with kind of a forced, wording, but sweet love. I mean, she was one that could give you love, but was very controlling, in the household in a loving way. I saw balloons, some people are petrified of balloons, but I was thinking it's a happy thing. Okay. So she's saying, enjoy life. Don't be so serious. Okay. And she said, yes, she is on your right side or, exactly what was being told. You'll also smell a fragrance. I think she wore some type of perfume, but whenever she's around, she says, tell him that he's going to smell something, but he's got to pay attention to it. So again, enjoy life. And I hope don't be so serious, Nathaniel. And I hope this helps you in love and life.
All right. And the card that I got for you is dynamic. And the frequency of dynamic supports our ability to harmonize between the layers and the aspects of different origin and frequency. It helps us to put together a reality that is made up of many different elements, both familiar and completely new, with ease, grace, and great joy.
Awesome. Dynamic. Yep. I love it.
Dynamic.
Yeah.
So I feel like
Nathan,
it's just all these changes that are taking place. It's just, it's kind of jump at them with excitement and kind of enjoy that.
It's an exuberant energy is what it feels like.
Yes. This is awesome. Cassie, what kind of cards are those? I just love the color. And it's almost like geometric patterns,
It is. It's a sacred geometry deck.
Oh, okay. It is. Okay. Yeah. That's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, it's this one, right? Activations?
Oh, it is.
Oh, there you go.
Ask for it over here. Over there.
It's a great trick. Well, I have cards too. But...
Okay. Yeah.
So Well, I want to thank everyone for joining us tonight and coming on. If you haven't already done so, subscribe, like, comment, share. It all helps us tremendously. As well, I personally want to thank both Tanys and Michelle for coming on the show tonight. And Tanys, tell everybody where they can find you one last time.
Absolutely. It's at twillowlifestyle.ca. So TWILLOW lifestyle.ca. Come and join us.
Yeah, for sure. And Michelle, where can they find you?
I always tell everybody to go to my website. It's www.michellehendersonmedium.com.
Yes.
And where can they find you, Cassie?
Yeah.
You can find me at Stargazers Unite across all social media platforms, or stargazersunite.com is my website. So again, thank you everyone, and you all have a wonderful night. We'll see you next time.
Sending you lots of love and light.